Hey, hello, dear friends. Welcome to the Virtual Institute for Capacity Building in Higher Education, VICBHE, the number one in the whole of Africa. We've done modules number 1, 2, 3, and now we are module number 12. Module number 12 is on mastering university rankings for global visibility. And in this lesson number 1, we'll be looking at things worth knowing about university rankings and global visibility. Talk about visibility. Let me make myself visible. I am Peter Okebukola, and I'm going to be running you through this lesson and a couple of others as we progress. There's a fundamental question that we will be looking at, and that is, what are university rankings about? That is the general question. Within it, in this lesson, we'll be looking at what university rankings are and what they are not. We'll also be looking at differences between ranking and rating. And also, we'll be looking at the global system and examining the major global ranking schemes. Very importantly, my dear friends, we want to learn in this lesson the different the terminologies. Is like a definition of terms, the terminologies that we use in ranking: indicators, metrics, weightings, bibliometrics, impact factors, all of that. So when you have learned this and you exit this lesson, or you at the end of the training and you're talking in a public place, and they will look at you, oh wow, how did this person know all of this? Not doing that now, VICBHE, in VICBHE action. We'll also be looking at the myths that surround matters about ranking. So let's go. Lesson number 1. Yeah, so let's begin the lesson properly. Let's recap the objectives. We are to do 6 things in this lesson. Define ranking and rating. We'll describe 7 major global university rankings. 7 of them. We'll explain methodologies. I will get on to this number 6, potential biases. Let's start with objective number 1, which is to define ranking and rating. So let's look at ranking. How do I define ranking? I define ranking as arranging people, objects, or things in a particular order based on how they perform or compare according to choosing criteria. So criteria that you will choose, either one, a criterion, or 2 or 3 or 4. So when you aggregate all of these, and then you rank the people, objects, or things, that is ranking. So let's look at some everyday examples. So your child or grandchild comes home and he says, hey, at the end of the term, bring your report card, my friend. How have you done? Oh, I came first. How very nice. Oh, I came 50th. Oh, you came 50th. When I was your parents, when I was in school, I was always coming first. Not big lie, or maybe not big lie. So the ranking has to do with such arrangements. Universities are ranked first, second, third on these global or national or regional league tables that we'll be looking at in this course. Then the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination that is conducted by JAMB. The candidates are listed. See, Professor Oluwede is a unique man, brilliant man. Before this time, we just get his course and all that. But what he does, and he believes in merit, is, we rank order at this course. You want to read medicine? Oh, yeah. You can't take somebody who has 310 and refuse to take somebody who has 312. So the scores are rank ordered. I'm very proud of Professor Oluwede. So the Olympics, I came first, second, third, and you will go silver, bronze. So for ranking, by way of everyday examples, competitive is relative and is positional. The points to emphasize: 4, there's an order. It's comparative. It's competitive, as I said before, and it produces positions. Hey, let's move on to rating. Let me start even by giving an example. I stayed in a 5-star hotel, or I stayed in a 1-star hotel, but there's no half-star, by the way. So you know, all of these are banded together So you don't say that in Lagos you have best hotel is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, no, no. So what you end up doing is band the BANT, give a score or a level to something, usually without directly comparing it to others. Directly comparing it to others. So you assign a value, not necessarily placing it in order against in some order. Let's take some example. I already given this first example. Hotels, 5-star, 3-star. Hospitals are also classified. 5-star hospital, 3-star. The movies, you see PG, parental guidance, PG-13, and also. Then degrees that were awarded in our institutions. The core curriculum and minimum academic standards, CCMAS. You find it there. Even the earlier one, BMAS. First class, second class, upper, second class, lower, and the rest. They are banded together like that. Then VICBHE, our great VICBHE, I said in the introduction, is number 1 in Africa. We also have some rating system where we classify our certificates distinction plus. So we band them together, distinction, credit, merit, and pass. These are benchmark. These are based on benchmarks. Let's go on to objective number 2 after completing objective number 1, which is to describe 7 major. Mind this one, major, not left-hand corner. Major, just joking, by the way, global investor ranking system, meaning that there are very many of them, but we're going to take on some major ones. And the major ones I have listed here, 7 that we'll be dealing with during the course of module 12. Times Higher Education World Investor Rankings. By the way, Times Higher Education has some order in this table, which we'll also be looking at. QS World University Rankings, Academic Ranking of World Universities, ARW, otherwise known as Shanghai Ranking. US World News Best Global Universities, CWTS Leading Ranking. You will enjoy this one, like the others, of course. You're going to enjoy everyone. Webometrics Ranking. I didn't say Webometric. Webometrics Ranking, or Ranking Web of Universities. The round university ranking. How you are. I'm sure many of you have not heard this one before, but that you are attending this course is opening your eyes or to some of these things. So I will not spend so much time because the subsequent lessons will take this one by one. Actually, lesson 2 will focus on this, 3 will focus on this, and it goes on like that. But you see, these are the one I've just mentioned, the 7 are institutional ranking universities. The other ranking schemes that focus on individuals. So major global academic rankings for individuals. These include the Clarivate Highly Cited Researchers, HCR, AD Scientific Index, Stanford Elsevier World's Top 2% Scientists, Research.com Rankings, Webometrics Ranking of Scientists, Transparent Ranking, and up to number 10 here. Hey, what's happening in Africa? All of these ones outside Africa. I tell you, Africa is almost left out. But that is why we are here. We want to shake off this ignoble status of Africa being left behind. We don't have any. But of course, we have, I don't know whether to say hard, African Quality Rating Mechanism, AQRM. AQRM was led by by Professor Olusegun Oyewole, the current Secretary General of AAU, when he was working in the African Union Commission several days, about 15 years ago. They developed this, but I don't know where it is because I was invited to do the analysis at some point. But we are hoping, based on module 12, to get something out for Africa. But I have good news. Good news. So what is the good news? The good news is that all the ones that are listed from Europe, North America, they're coming after that of NUC. NUC was the first to rank universities in Africa. Fortunately, I was ESNUC and I brought in that mechanism. So in 2001, when I joined NUC, we started the ranking of universities in Nigeria. We had it 2002 all the way to 2006 when I left office. So the thing was paused. But when Baba Rashid, Professor Abubakar Rashid, great man indeed, when he came, he said, no, this has to be revised. So he set up the Nigerian Universities Ranking Advisory Committee. new rank that I chair, and with former vice chancellors from the 6 geopolitical zones being members, and Dr. Bedu Saliu as our secretary representing the ES. So we ranked in Nigeria University 2022-2023. So we're not doing so badly, but we're going to improve on our performance. Let's go to objective number 3 after finishing objective number 2, to explain the methodologies employed by each major ranking system. So in doing this, I'd like to let you know that I'm going to move fairly fast for this lesson number 1, because this lesson number 1 is mainly introductory. I'll be going through each of these in the subsequent lessons. So what this has done, we know we're talking about methodology. The methodology is this last but one column, and then you have QS, World University Rankings. Look at the years of the establishment, 2004. NUC established, we got it when I was here, started it 2001, 24 years ago, 25 by the way. So you can see all these ones. This one yesterday, that's the global one. US News had been before, but the global bit, 2008, 2004, 2010. These are not baby, all these are not babies. So these are coverage, the primary focus, the key strengths, the main limitations, the methodology type, then how frequently they update this annual, and the rest like that. So we'll go into more details on this. But mind you, I'd like you to maybe take a snapshot of this, because we'll have a Friday test, and a few attempts may be coming out from here. Let's look at the weightings. This is where the thing is, where they are different in some form among others. Indicator category, reputation surveys, QS apportions 45% to that. Times higher education, 33%. ARW, nothing, doesn't do no survey. US News, 25%. Leiden, nothing. Metrics, nothing. RUR included 10%. So look at the others on this table. You can see that. So when a ranker like QS or Times Higher Education for whatever of the skills that is operated, when they decide that this is what we want, that's what they want. No police can catch them. So we are also going to do, as of course, in Africa, data sources. QS draws a citation database for Scopus, ARW for Web of Science. The survey responded, as you can see, QS is huge in terms of solving. Academics, 130,000. Cancer education, about 40,000. Institutional data transparency. So that's what this table is presenting to us. We are moving to objective number 4. Define at least 5 key technical terms. Look, when you finish this course, even this lesson, and you are talking about ranking, and they see some terminology dropping from your mouth, say, my friend, I said it during the introduction of this lesson. You can't say this thing. We'll say, don't jump with you 12. So let's take on a few of them. Like I said, like 5, but I'm going to show you many more. The first, the Baba, maybe, is indicator. So what are indicators? Those are the things that you decide you go to measure, like the number of publications, student-teacher ratio, international students, research income, citations, and all that. So I liken it to the ingredients in that soup or in that ranking operation. So think of indicators as ingredients you use to make ranking. Just like you need rice, tomato, pepper, oil to make jollof rice. Ghana, no, come here. Now Nigeria get jollof rice. Oh, by the way, that's a joke. So the incubators are the ingredients. So when you talk about reputation, it's research income, citation, you are talking about the indicators. Now let's look at the metrics. Metrics, just how you measure those indicators. You can say I'm progressive. You get the indicator, then you measure the thing. The metrics, the specific numbers or measurements you collect for each indicator, like 15:1 student-teacher ratio, to 5% of international students, 2.3 billion research income, and all of that. So metrics are the actual measures, the how much. Nine metric deal. Pardon me speaking pidgin English, but I love to do that. I love to just relax everybody. How many for each of the indicators. Now let's look at the weighting. Weighting is how the proportion, the importance you give to each indicator when calculating the final score. Excuse me. So, example, you can say research will be 40%, teaching 30%, internationalization counts for 30%. Nobody's going to catch you. It's you to decide. So, weighting is like saying exams are worth 70% of your grade, and continuing assessments, are worth 30%. So making 30%, it determines which indicators you will determine which indicators matter most. Then composite score. Composite score, you have all the indicators, you measure them, then you bring all of them together. After weighting, giving them weights, you then bring them together. So that is the final number that you get that you use for ranking. There are some other major terms that will be encountering as we go along, but I do not want to overload you. Citation impact. For each of these, I've talked about the meaning and how they are measured. H index, field normalization, and the rest that you can see here. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's go to number 5 objective of this lesson. 5 of 6. We're going to compare the strengths, limitations, and biases, geographic, disciplinary, linguistic, of different ranking systems. So here we are on this table. Keywords: geographical bias, moderate Anglo-American, Anglo means British and all that, growing Asian coverage, so it's spreading for Asia. Disciplinary bias, relatively biased. There's language bias, English medium advantage, best for comprehensive overview. For all of these, are several ranking schemes are provided, or this geographical bias, disciplinary bias, language bias, and the rest. So I'll be referring to them as we progress through the course of this course, because as I said, this is introductory lesson. Lesson number 1. Let's go to the last one. We want to identify the potential biases and limitations in ranking systems that may disadvantage the visibility of African universities. So I'm coming down now to African universities. So what do we make out of that? What we make out of that is that there's no single ranking that will give us the complete story. So you say, oh, yeah, we're ranking keywords. But keywords, it has limitations, is focus. Tertiary education, academic ranking for all universities. So no single one. So it's a combination. So each system reflects particular values and priorities. For instance, you can't get into ARWU if you don't have Nobel level research excellence. And tertiary education seeks comprehensive balance. QS emphasizes reputation and employability. Leiden offers pure bibliometric rigor, and Webometrics promotes digital openness. So for African universities, we've got to find a nice niche for ourselves. Hey, VICBHE is not about theory. Over the last several minutes, I've been talking. For us in VICBHE, it is practical. It's a good exemplar of how open and distance learning should be delivered to give you practical skills. So let's go on to practical number 1. And what am I asking you for to do in practical number 1? Just 2 things, 2 tasks. The first, we looked at institutional ranking. We then look at individual. So I would like you to state the rank of your institution or the latest edition of 4 global league tables. Which 4? I'm going to show you now. And then to state your rank as a module 12 participant or scholar on 2 individual global league tables. Hey, demonstration, stand by. Let me give you a demonstration of this. So demonstrating this is the report sheet. This is just 1 page. So what are you going to do? Fill in your details here, registration number, whatever it's on, first name is name of institution. So if you are from National Universities Commission, for instance, you can take the institution that you graduated from at a first degree, master's or PhD. For the others that you are in a particular institution, take that institution, put the name of that institution there. So institutional performance, I'd like you to look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We said 7 before, but I'm taking this to be 6. You want to tell us what they rank of your institution is the Times Higher Education World University Rankings 2026. You want to tell us what the global rank, what the African rank, what the Nigerian rank is. And then you want to go to Times Higher Education Sustainability Impact Rating. You want to tell us the global rank, this and this and this, metrics ranking. You want to tell us this, ARWU, this, QS ranking and all that. If you don't see yourself, if it is not there, if you cannot find your university, just say no visibility. No, it's not visible. We're under the radar. Can see you. But the object of this training is to get you to learn how you can be visible, so that by other 6 months, 1 year, your university will jump the ladder, go up and up. So you got to put all of those ones here. Therefore, individual performance, you as a person, you find out what you have, what your AD scientific, what's your rank, individual, Clarivate, what's your rank, Africa. If you can't find anything, just say nil. Yes, nil. There'll be so many nils. So NIL, there'll be so many in this class, but it doesn't matter. We just want to establish that baseline. Now you have to discuss the results. This result that you have got, you got to discuss it, analyze it, and then make recommendations for yourself and for the institution for improvement, and then you reach some conclusion. The marking is quite straightforward. For every entry here, it is 20, let me see now, 20 marks. Everything you put in here, whether you put nil or you put, but we're going to check. Our system will check for your institution. Check what you have entered here. And then, yeah, what else? Yes. So for the 3 categories times 6, but that's 300 marks. For the individual, there are 3 categories there. 2 ranking schemes, that's 100 marks. Then the heart of the matter, your discussion, your recommendations and conclusions. So the total that you are angling for is 120. Now let me tell you something you can do. Yeah, for each of those rankings, you go to their site. If you don't know their site, just Google World University Rankings or RUR, whatever. So you go to their site and then be able to view latest rankings and then search for the university rankings, name of university, location. So let's take Covenant University. Covenant, you can see it's coming up. Oh no, that's Covenant University. Yeah, so that's it. So that will give you, this will give you the global ranking, 101, 1001 to 1200. So you fill up that cell. But what about Nigeria? What about Africa? I'll show you how you can get that. You do the same thing for webometrics and the rest. But there's a shortcut. There's a shortcut. You want to know? Yes, I'm going to show that to you right now. Yeah, it is to use an AI tool. I'm sure most of you use ChatGPT, and that's what I want to use. You just prompt ChatGPT to please supply you for your university. The case I want to use as example is Covenant University, to give you data to fill this table for metrics, for ARW, for this. Let me show you. Yeah, so this will be the prompt. Please provide the ranking of Covenant University. Sorry about my keyboard, it's always very noisy for this table. So that's the table I gave to you. So what you need to do is just copy this and paste in your tool. It can be any of the AI tools. Yeah, so this ChatGPT, what's on your mind today? What will concern you? It will concern you about anyway. I tell you what's on my mind. I've copied that and I've pasted it here. So we'll let it go like this, and searching Covenant University, Times Higher Education, World University Rankings, and the rest. So you can see it's Gov metrics ranking, academic ranking, World University. So that's the thing. That's it. Just paste this one there. So search for it. Get the thing from here and paste there. So it's as simple as that. You do the same thing too for the individual. Just mention your name and you will have it there. That cell, the thing is populated, and then you describe that. That's part of the matter, as I said. You will give us a full discussion, this analysis of this, because that's and how we can improve at the institutional level and at your own level. Yes, that brings us to the end of lesson number 1 on things worth knowing about university rankings and global visibility. Hey, so what's cooking for lesson number 2? In lesson number 2, we shall be digging deep into Times Higher Education rankings. Today, as you can see, is Saturday, February the 14th. We're opening formally on the 17th. 17th is a special day, for me. Yeah. Today is 14th February and it's Valentine's Day. So I say happy Valentine to you all, as some people will say for my place. Happy Valentine. Interesting. So I'm Peter Okebukola. It is bye-bye for me.